I don't believe in its current form with the technology where it is that we get good value for the company if we put it up for sale today or try to just sell the technology. Maybe you'd get something, but it wouldn't be very attractive. I guess if we get to the very end and that's our only choice, it's something we'll have to consider. But we really think that a way better path is what we're trying to do, which is to get partners in. And what leverage we have in negotiating with those partners will depend on where the technology is when we come to, hopefully sign some agreements. If you look at what people pay for, we can't show them definitive enough results that we have a world-changing technology yet. There are some interesting aspects to it, and there could be applications, as we said, in the existing capacitor markets where the powders could be useful, but the powders, the way they're coated, also may make it difficult to create compressed sintered capacitors, which would be core to many of the existing capacitor markets. So, we're looking at all the different applications, but part of the strength of the technology, it's different. Part of the weakness is because it's different, it doesn't just fit into existing applications. So, for example, 3M makes materials used in embedded capacitors for circuit boards. And as we understand it from Technical Advisory Committee, they make those materials using epoxy. At first instance, it may be, even with those somewhat disappointing results we published, that the materials may perform better than what the likes of 3M is currently using, and there could be a big market. But the question is, can we take something that we've made in a PVC form, use it in an epoxy-based manufacturing situation, and still get those kind of results? So we're looking at everything, and that's a challenge. I mean, we don't have a team of 150 people to go out and talk to potential partners. So we're sort of doing what we can, and hopefully we'll raise a bit of money, because we don't need that much money to extend our runway. And we think we can we think the bringing of partners isn't going to be it won't take years, it'll take months.
I think your idea of getting more help, expertise is fantastic, and the more support, the more smarts, the better. Going back to running out of money in the IP, maybe I've watched too many conspiracy movies. And please forgive me for this.
We're going to have a little bowl at the door on the way out for those who want to just...
All right. A far-out conspiracy would be letting things die, so to speak, and then the pieces being picked up by other interests. Am I way off?
You watched Who Killed the Electric Car and
something
the
like
great GM movie? There is no conspiracy. I mean,
no.
You can think what you want about us as a team.
No, I respect you. I do. I'm just saying.
Look, we absolutely, positively want this company to succeed. We want it to succeed in any way we can that delivers value. And we know we need money. It's as simple as that. We tried to raise more last fall. We reached our minimum, but not our maximum, and that was because we had hoped and it'd been suggested that we would be able to get a technological update that would be the catalyst for getting us the money. And as our friends at Industrial Alliance know, who were leading the financing, that didn't happen, and so we were arguably lucky to get the financing done and get enough money to at least get in a position where we could be masters of our destiny. But we didn't raise as much as we wanted to, and it would have been a lot easier if we'd gotten a few million extra, because we would have an extra year of runway, and a year is a lot in our life right now.
Thanks.
My name is Michael Berger, and I've been with you guys for a long time, and I appreciate your efforts in a long road with a short runway. The first question is, what made you decide that there was enough there to get involved more deeply? It's the first question. And the second question is...
Sorry, just to clarify, are you asking more deeply, meaning doing the deal with the Series A shareholders and
yeah. Okay, maybe let's start with that one to know.
Sure. Well, that's, in some respects, that's the easiest question to answer. We were 11% shareholders. We were subject to, as Tom knows, I think a 25-year NDA or 20-year, certainly the longest I've ever seen in history, and certainly restrictive. And Dick has run a company on the belief that it's critical to protect the IP, and has worried, given the size of the market and its potential, what would happen if someone got hold of it who, used it competitively and there wasn't adequate protection. So he's always been very protective. But he's also, he's a pretty good negotiator, and he's always controlled access, and there's always been, if you want to get access, you contribute money, and we've always been a bit of a dance back and forth. We knew that ZENN was formed to make electric cars. It wasn't formed to be a holding company for 11% of a private company in Texas. That's a crazy structure for a public company, and I said that the day I joined the board, and nothing changed my view. So we knew that until we could get a position of significant influence, we really wouldn't be able to drive the destiny of the company, and we believed that that would give us access to broader financial resources, help open up the company to more open collaboration and partnership. The only way that was going to happen is if we could get the holders of the Series A shares to agree to sell or roll their shares into ours, and we ended up, it took better part of 9 months to do that. But that gave us the seat at the table. It gave us 2 board seats. It gave us the rights that went. And ZENN was nothing more than a play or investment on eStore. So when you look at, you're sitting with a company with a $35 or $40 million valuation. If we could go from 11% to 41% by issuing as little as we did in that first transaction, that was a no-brainer, because it got us inside the tent. It got us in a position of not control, but significant influence. And once that was done, I think the Weirs and ZENN sat down and realized, okay, the funding, to the extent it's coming, is going to come through ZENN. We may as well make this a real partnership. We wanted them to own shares of us. And quite frankly, they were in a position, if we didn't put money in them right away, they might not have survived, and we would have annihilated $40 million of market cap overnight. So we didn't give any money to the Weirs as shareholders. We gave them shares. So they're now riding on the same horse that we're all riding on. And we took the money and we invested it in extending the R&D effort, giving them more time to produce layers. So the diligence isn't something you can do by just walking in for a week. I mean, we're now a little over 2 months into it, and we're just starting to learn. But the decision for the board was actually easy to go ahead. Very accretive transaction, puts us in a position to drive the destiny of the company. If we'd done nothing, we'd be sitting there as 11% shareholders, either watching the company go under because it didn't have financial resources, or someone else swoop in and buy the other 89%, and we'd just be left as minority partners with no influence and just takers. So of the tough decisions we made, that wasn't one of them. You had a second question.
Okay, the second question was it Lockheed Martin that invested in it initially? And I was wondering what happened with that. One of the large companies did invest a long time ago.
I don't think the company eStore has ever publicly disclosed. It's acknowledged that Lockheed is a partner, but beyond that, I don't think it has or even can say anything about that relationship. It does have another partner which has licensed the use of 1-, 2-, and 3-wheel vehicles. It's a private company on the west coast of the United States, and that company has contributed money on a number of occasions, both for technology rights and as an investor/shareholder of eStore.
Okay, a third question on the wild side. Would Tesla be at all interested?
You can bet they're on our list of companies that we will be talking to. But Tesla is probably on everybody's list of companies they'd like to talk to. I think it goes without saying they know that too. appreciate everyone's perseverance. And again, I know this has been a difficult and disappointing time. We're all in this to win. And we're going to work hard to try and find a path that gives us a better chance of success. And we will need your support. So thank you.